Shopping day. Shop now. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of IPOB. Mazi deputy leader at IPOB. Mazi Alright, this Ufuma Biafra on the microphone. God bless Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. Why am I telling you this thing this evening is because they have come again written with the same method, the same modus operandi. That's the way they always operate. They try to use you to destroy themselves. They took this man's marriage of it was your own fault. The Britain assembled them. Very disgruntled, the something that BBC was doing today, and used them to attack Arochukwu. Arochukwu fell. Our own people actually destroyed their own temple. In the year 1960 to 1967, they did the same thing as well. They groomed saboteurs of the highest grade, like Obabia Siga. Frontline saboteurs. For 7 years, they groomed them. So that when they started the slaughter of Biafrans in the north, they engaged them to try to castigate Ojukwu and to run our eternal leader, him, Chukwuemeka down. And after the war, the lives of Obabia Sika was compensated. The same thing that they are doing today, trying to use some of you who are ignorant of history. The same way they're trying to use Tinubu in the West. The same way they use Afonja in Yoruba land. None of you ever learn. You have history, you study it. Some of you are intelligent enough to go through history books. You know all these things, but you fail to learn from it. What is the difference between today and when Hausa land was taken? What is the difference between today and when Nupe land was taken in Niger State? What is the difference between today when Jukun land was taken? What is the difference between today and when Bagi land was taken from Bagi people by Fulani? What is the difference between today, what the governors are doing and what the likes of Tinubu are doing to what Hausa peasants did to themselves many years gone by? Every time I come here and I preach to you to understand the dangers you're facing and the danger you're in your useless one Nigeria, you don't want to reason, you don't want to think very well. I have told you severally, if you stay in one Nigeria, you'll become Fulanized. They will take you over. A Fulani will emasculate you with the help of the British. Because Britain they need idiots to be in power in Abuja for them to continue to take our oil and gas for free. It's a very simple program they have. All the oil companies are in it together. Ajib, ExxonMobil, Halliburton, Texaco, Eni, Elf, Mobil, name them, they're all in it together. Why would they allow you to have a country that is viable when they can get oil and gas for free and sell it at very high and exorbitant prices abroad, even bring it back to you to buy at over 500 naira per liter? Because you are foolish. Because you are a Nigerian, because you cannot reason properly. That is why they try to engage some of you, idiotically of course, to fight the noble cause that IPOB is championing. My happiness today is that most of you are now woken up. Most ethnic nationalities are now rising up to say that they want to also be free. They too want to be free. We started it by the grace of God Almighty in heaven. And it is going to come to completion very, very soon. And we are all going to be free. But you must remain very strong and resilient. Very strong and resilient. Don't allow yourselves to become distracted. Especially our Ududuwa brothers and sisters. You must remain strong. No matter what happens, they will float the likes of Tinubu all they like. They will bring up every idiot in their arsenal. They will bring up some robbers. They will bring up some chiefs, some idiots. Like one fool writing today, claiming this from Oxford. One idiot like that. God, I think it's Antonio Cruzania or I don't know what the idiot's name is. They will bring them. You see, these fools, they are black people. Black people are noted for one thing in life: self-destruction. They always destroy themselves. That is why I think there's a popular saying in America, even in UK in those days, that black people are like crabs in a bucket. Instead of them to allow one to go out to see what is happening outside and help them to come out, if you want to climb up, they will always drag you down. That is in the psyche and the makeup of a black man. That is why they are poor. That is why in every society you go around the world, black people are at the bottom of the ladder. There's a reason for that. And as I always say when I come on air, it is because of the way you reason. It is only the way you reason that is keeping you down. If some of you can take up the time to listen to our broadcast over the years, you will see that we got to where we are today because we have been very, very consistent. Consistency is the key. No matter what they throw at you, you remain focused and consistent. Today, that is what Kanu is doing. I am a British citizen. Some of you may be wondering that he is British. Why is he castigating Britain for their role in entrenching terrorism and poverty in Africa, and especially in the zoo that they created called Nigeria? I am a British citizen, yeah, that is true. But I subscribe to that very school of thought that an Englishman is a conscientious being. Most of the good things that happened all around the world was done by English people. From abolition of slavery to the universality of education and rights of men. They are part and parcel of English common law. And an ordinary Englishman has conscience. An ordinary British person is a God-fearing, or should I say, a conscientious being. But there is a handful, a minority of Satanists at Foreign and Commonwealth Office, at BBC, doing the work of Lucifer, trying to cage us in the 21st century, trying to tell you and I that we are monkeys, that we don't have any brain, trying to tell us that we must bow before a white man. You have to bow before them because they are British. And I say no to that. And that is why they have come. That is why Britain is providing military support for a regime that they know is actively aiding and abetting terrorism. This is something that the world must understand this evening. The British government, led by Boris Johnson, who is a Jew, very sad indeed. In other words, his ancestors, his forefathers knew persecution. But Boris Johnson is presiding over the reign of evil and terror in Nigeria, courtesy of Kanu, the British High Commissioner to the zoo called Nigeria. And why am I saying all these things? I'm saying all these things because the Fulani people are attacking us in Enugu and in Ebonyi State. They did so yesterday and also today. This comes as a time when Kanu invited the British Army to come to the aid of the Nigerian Army in order to tackle the resistance we are putting up against Fulani encroachment into our land. Over all these years, Britain never wonderful people, great dear friends, wherever you are, this very morning, afternoon, evening, or night, I welcome you to this very, should I say, special question and answer session on this very day, the second day of April, the fourth month in the year of our Most High Elohim 2021. The time now is precisely 2 minutes past 7 a.m. in the land of Biafra. I said a.m., not p.m. I know we are accustomed to broadcasting in the evenings, that is in Biafra land. Therefore, some of you may become confused, but this is a live presentation this very morning. We are live and we are direct on all platforms. I repeat, on all platforms, that we may preach this very gospel to the understanding and hearing of humanity wherever they may be at this time. Allow me to welcome you, and as I do so, may I also encourage each and every one of you to welcome those who are around you. You can listen to us via Instagram, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu _official. We are on Instagram. We are live there. There are a lot of people there already. There's a Chinedu is there. Opara is there. Shedrack is also there. Kesia is there. Eduardo Chinedu is there. And very many people are there on Instagram. And I want that advertised as much as possible. I want that best man is also there. A lot of people are there watching. We are also on Facebook. You know, Facebook with their suppression and restrictions, one of the most corrupt entities in the world. We are also there at Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I'm broadcasting through a page that is not particularly well known, but I'm hoping this very morning that those of you who are there already will be able to spread this very gospel, that others may be able to join us on that very platform as well. We are on Twitter. If you go to my Twitter handle, official one, there are many fake ones being run by DSS, the Zoo State Police. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is mine. If you go there, you will see it and you'll be able to join us. I'm sure we are the only ones who are streaming live this very morning on that very place. That's how you know which one is authentic and which one is fake. We happen to also be on satellite this very morning. We are on IPOB Community Radio app, which everybody must have. Everybody must download IPOB Community Radio. You must also download the authentic Radio Biafra app as well, so that you can participate and join us anytime we are live, as we are this very morning. We are going to pray a very brief prayer before we continue. But before we do so, I must reaffirm that I am Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of IPOB all over the world, the director of Radio Biafra and Biafra Television, and of course, by the very special grace of the Most High Elohim, a servant of the wonderful people of Biafra. We are gathered this very morning to preach this very gospel, of course, to take your questions, and hopefully I will be able to provide all the answers that you need. But right now, this very second, we are going to pray. And after praying, I will preach very briefly this morning to bring you up to speed as to what is happening with our beloved Eastern Security Network, the battle that is raging right now in and around Nsukka to dislodge terrorists, and what the Nigerian Army and police, and of course in conjunction with British High Commission, are trying to do in order to frustrate our efforts. This very morning, all over the world, people are going to listen to this very gospel as we preach it, and of course be able to learn from it. But before then, we must pray. Our lines are not open, please. I don't want anybody to call us now. Our lines are not yet open. That means you're not listening. Because if you're listening, there is no way you'll be calling us by this time. I know that some of us are very desperate to try to get their calls through. When our lines does open, please, I will take all your calls to the best of my ability. But this very morning, afternoon, or night, depending on where you are, we must pray. And I'm going to pray in English language this morning, a very short prayer, a prayer prayed by Yeshua when he was on this very earth. A prayer extolling the supremacy and irreducibility of the Creator, in heaven. That upon that very name and name alone, everything that was created was made possible. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on this very earth in the land of Biafra as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread and forgive us our sins as we forgive those who sin against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For yours and yours alone is the kingdom. All power and glory is yours. This we acknowledge now and forevermore. He said, a very simple prayer, but one prayed by Jesus when he was on this very earth. Acknowledging that only God Almighty in heaven is supreme. That was why he said, our Father who art in heaven. We do not worship idol here. We only worship the one true God, and that is why we are going to prevail, and that is why Biafra will come in our time. This very morning, very speedily before our lines open to take your calls, I have a few things to bring to your attention. And not surprisingly, of course, the United States have now released what they call their country report on this zoological republic called Nigeria. The United States State Department, which is their foreign ministry, in charge of all their diplomats all over the world, including the U.S. mission in Nigeria. The reason why I'm touching upon this very briefly this morning is to bring to your awareness, or should I say, to bring to your attention once again what I have been saying all this while concerning the duplicity and complicity of most foreign missions in Nigeria. I told some of you, but you never listen. The thing about we black people is that we do not listen. We do not reason. We always fail to engage our brain cells each time we are pondering a very complex subject. I told all of you a while back, and consistently so, that the United States mission in Nigeria is corrupt. I told you that the British mission, of course, they are colonialists, that the mission of Britain, which is UK in Nigeria, headed by Kanu, is to colonize all of you. I don't know what is wrong with us. I have no idea what is wrong with us. But I blame all of you for this very report that the United States of America released through their very corrupt State Department. I say it openly, without fear, no contradiction. The people working at the Africa desk at the United States Department of State are one of the most corrupt people on the face of this very earth. Including the U.S. ambassador to Nigeria, she is as corrupt as Satan himself. Why am I saying this? All of you saw the videos of Lekki Tollgate massacre. I was live on air broadcasting that very night as the massacre was taking place. Out of anger, people started to destroy government-owned properties in Lagos. I have been warning you for very many years that anytime you have any ambassador from a frontline country coming to Nigeria, they always bribe them. I warn all of you that the Fulani Janjaweed war chest, what I mean by is the money they have to fight to keep enslaving all of you in one Nigeria, now over $30 billion US. You thought I was joking. I also told you that they have not only bought over the entire diplomatic corps in Abuja, that they have engaged frontline, top-notch consultancy firms all over the world with the help of the British to suppress every news coming out of Nigeria, to manage every information coming out of Nigeria, to condition the minds of the world that nothing is going wrong. If some of you paid little attention, and this morning I want you to understand that if you do not pay attention to what I'm telling you, the consequences you will suffer will be very severe, and it has started this very morning. Do you know, after slaughtering and killing people around Lake Tollgate, on that fateful day, that people, innocent people, were massacred? I don't have the precise date in my head. Despite all the difficulties that we've had with CNN in the past, but at least CNN did something. CNN tried as much as possible to present the truth. There was a CNN documentary, or should I say a mini documentary, about Lekki Tollgate massacre. Do you know, surprise, surprise, do you know what happened? The United States of America have now released a report on Lekki Tollgate massacre. Do you know what they said in that report? They said that nobody was shot there, that people did not die at Lekki. Are you listening to me? They said that people did not die. And this brings home what I have been warning all of you, or should I say all of us trapped in that one soup called Nigeria. Our liberation is in our hands. The white man will not help us. And I will tell you the reason why the white man can never help us. The white man, as they have always done, is using the Fulani to enslave. That's number one. They have something to, both of them came together and agreed on something. We need Nigeria. We need all the ethnic populations in Nigeria. Britain, everybody has an interest. British interest is that they love controlling people, is in their blood, is in their nature. They need people to control people who will be their slaves. That's number one. Secondly, they need access to our oil and gas for free. That's number two. Number three, they want to keep on giving the impression that black people are useless, incapable of reasoning, that we black people deserve to be controlled by white people. Understand what I'm telling you this morning, please. It's very, very important. Because in time to come, the same way I'm reminding you this very morning as to the consequences of our stupidity, I will also go back and tell you, remember there was a day that I preached this very gospel live on Radio. I repeat, Britain wants to control you because they feel that they are God, they are white and you're black, you are nothing. That's number one. But because some of us are, did not have the benefit of sound or decent education, you may not appreciate what I'm saying. But in the fullness of time, you will come to understand. You will come full circle into the realization that what I'm telling you, what I've always told you, is the truth. And I preach it without fear before any idiot, regardless of how powerful you think you are. What am I saying to you is this. Britain is in Nigeria because of oil and gas. They're in Nigeria to control you because you're black people. They are also in Nigeria to try to use it as an influence to control the entire black race all over the world because they believe that Nigeria is populous. They have a lot of people. It needs over 200 million people. And if they control them, perhaps they will be able to control black people all over the world. Because one, they see us as black people, we are niggers, we are nothing. That was why they named you Nigeria. Nigeria means land of niggers. That is what it means. An area occupied by niggers. A derogatory slow word which people in their infinite stupidity have failed to change over the years. I may digress this morning, but please pardon me and try to follow my chain of thought and what I'm preaching this very morning. America is there because of Halliburton, because of ExxonMobil. They are there because of Texas. They also need oil and gas. Some of you may remember or may recall when Trump assumed power. That was in about, I think, 2016 or thereabouts. He said something that most of his friends go to Africa to make easy money. But he is not one of those people. I now want to tell you the reason why the US State Department released this very abominable report on the killing of innocent souls in Lekki. I also want to prove to all of you this very morning, it doesn't matter how many black people are serving in any administration in America. It doesn't matter. These are people they have conditioned to hate themselves. And they are the ones that sanctioned these lies. I have lived with white people for very many years. I know the way they reason. Some of you may be shocked, saying, oh, why is he saying this morning? Let me tell you one thing. At any period in history, a majority of white people will always support what is good. I repeat, at each given point in history, it doesn't matter how dark that very face is. A majority of white people are conscientious. They hate evil. It is only a minority, a very wicked, evil minority that will support what is happening in the zoo called Nigeria today, like the Africa desk of the State Department in America. We have confronted them many times. I have asked them, why do you people support evil in Africa? USA, yes. It is not the entire USA. I'm not saying it is the Biden administration, no. I'm not saying it was the Trump administration before this one, no. There is a clique, a group of people, highly corrupt individuals, running what is called the Africa desk at the United States Department of State. They are the ones responsible for the evil happening in Africa. How? All of you saw that people were killed on that very fateful night at the Lekki toll gate when it was being occupied at the height of the NSAS protest. And I also want to bring to your attention this very morning, I'm sorry to say this, that there is something fundamentally wrong. I've been telling you this about black people and the way we reason. This morning, I want to bring to your attention that indeed there is something wrong with us and the way we reason. Let me read this report for you. It was only the Nation newspaper that carried it in the zoo.